One, two, three.
Okay. Hi people. I am Mr. Long. Today I have one seminar about how to map a flat component. I am software engineer. I work with Flex for 4 years experience. And I have developed a lot of components for X1 in Korea. So I have many experience to share with you. So today I have that seminar. Okay. Okay. This is outline of this seminar today. First, I will introduction. What is this seminar and the outline of seminar. The second is principle. We have to follow the principle of this, and then we can make the flat component very easy and high quality. So we must follow two principles. And after we follow the principle, we must design for flat component. Design means we design the architecture of software, not design interface. And the next is implementation. I mean, when we design the component already, so we can implementation. We can implement for the flat component. And finally, after we finish, I will summarize conclusion. Okay. First, I will talk about introduction of this seminar. The first thing I recommend it is advanced tutorial for Flex developer. I don't focus on basic programming for Flex because we have a lot of lesson. We have a lot of lesson tutorial on internet. So today I just only the top advanced tutorial. Okay. And I want to introduce this seminar because I want to improve the skill of making a flat component. My seminar will go through from the idea to the result, but I will not go to detail of each source code. I will not go to detail of each source code. And this seminar is my personal experience. Just my personal experience. Okay, let's go next issue. That is principle. Why I have to say principle? Because we have a lot of Flex developer, right? We have a lot of Flex developer, and they can do by themselves, by their own ways. They have many kinds of experience, so they can say, okay, I have experience, but they don't summarize the principle. So I have to make that principle, because when you follow this general principle, you easily to develop flat component. The first principle is we must be master on using Adobe Flex component. Why? Because Adobe Flex component is basic component. It is background for all developer. Before you making a new Flex component, you have to understand and you have to use Adobe Flex component frequently and professional. Okay, and the second principle, let's see component as I mean, when you develop a Flex component, you must consider component is a small application. The second is like a hardware device or black box. Okay, so after we have a view of component, so we have to use the methods to implement. Here we have some kind of methods. The first is OOP. The second is event oriented, and the third is design pattern. The next principle is let's optimize as much as. Why we have to optimize? Because component mean is a small application, so we have to optimize. We have to make small as possible and faster and faster, and using the minimum resource. So I thought let's optimize as much as possible. Optimize what? Optimize structure of component. Optimize algorithm. Optimize number of variable and function inside this component. Okay, so I will go to detail of that kind of principle. I will go into detail. Do you remember the first principle is we must be master using Adobe Flex component. I talked already. If we don't know how to use Flex component, so it's difficult to develop a good component for developer, especially Flex developer, because almost case they only use Adobe Flex, right? Just so the first thing we must be master on using Flex Adobe. How to be master on using Adobe Flex component? The first is we must read API document, right? The API document of Flex Adobe is in using internet. You can search and go to API in the Adobe website. And of course, when you use the API document, so we must see this symbol. Each component, they have a symbol, so we have to use that symbol, and we practice as much as possible. After you can see the symbol already, so you have to do by yourself. I mean, not just see the API, you have to practice, you have to do it by yourself. Let's do this. The second principle, I talked already. The second principle is let's see component as small application. Why? Because Flex, not Flex, but component mean is small application, and you have to develop it from 4 steps like any application. First, you have to analyze it. You have to design the architecture. You have to implement, and you have to test. That is 4 steps. This 4 steps is applied for general application. Then I want you, when you develop a component, you have to follow this step. Because I understand some people told me, why I have to follow this step for the whole application. I just develop a small component, right? I just develop a small component. Why I have to follow this? That is wrong answer. That is wrong answer. Why? Because when you develop an application, you follow this, but take a long time. In this case, when you develop a component, you take this step just short time, and you make sure that component have no error and they have good structure, right? And the second thing is component actually it work in application, right? You have to develop component for what? For using in application in the future. So